bad. Thank you for noticing. I mean, this whole thing. Yeah, you gotta get here right in the morning if you want Chest's morning messages. It's the Heliod combo deck, I'm thinking. I may path this Arbor Elf on turn 1. Which of course feels pretty bad. But if we can just stop them from playing Heliod on turn 2, it does slow them down a decent bit here. Yeah, when you see a Wooded Foothills, it probably is better to assume it's Dinos, but the Temple Guarded was a giveaway. I think we could force the Sprawl, but I'll save it for a Company or Eldamri's Call. Hopefully. And of course, we'll just blind flip from here on out. I do think this is a good matchup, especially because Infinite Life just doesn't matter very much. I do think that, you know, in a large way, that is going to dictate about how good this Heliod deck is how good is Infinite Life. And Hallowed Fountain on top. Morning, Harry. How are you doing today? Ranger Captain is pretty good against Miracles, although they revealed Hexdrinker and then chose not to cast it. Down to 12. Oh, awesome. Okay, so let's just draw 2. Then my opponent's going to cast Coco, and then we get to force. We'll, of course, try to blind flip first. I guess I'm pitching Omen to force. Oh, interesting. I mean, this is just kind of a spew. I don't know.
It's me, your friend Inspiring Spike.
Yeah, now we just have a Terminus on top. Oh, we can't. Sorry, we don't get to Miracle it. It's locked 739, 5 months in a row. Hope you're having a good day today. Appreciate you. Yeah, I think I agree. I think this is a bit of a spew by them. Let's see, what do we find? If I had another 4-drop in my hand, I may have like Jace, Brainstorm, put a 4 on top. To counter Walking Ballista. We could draw a 4-drop. We still have Force of Negation up. Just so good if we hit a 4 here off of Jace. What's the spew? Spew is a, you know, is when you throw away value. And so our opponent, I think, was not supposed to sack the Ranger Captain there. I don't think it's that bad for us that they did. Oh, I forgot to update the Stream Decker. Wait, how did the chest know I was playing Miracles if I didn't update the Stream Decker? Weird. I just said I was playing it today, probably. Oh, it was the most recently edited deck. Got it. Yeah, kind of like throwing, just making a mistake, but it's like kind of a very specific kind of mistake where you're throwing away value. Yeah, this doesn't matter very much. In fact, I think it matters, you know, so little that we can just like not even care about omening in response. There's a Remand here.
What's up? It's me, your friend Inspiring Spike.
I've been finding success with Miracles. Spell Queller, 1 month away from the sub, baby. Hell yeah. I will tell my opponent I will treat it. If you had infinite life. Now hit them with the smiley face. They know I'm not joking. Omen into Remand seem kind of free. Maybe. I feel like this just doesn't matter at all. We could, you know, maybe find a Terminus here. We're gonna Terminus this down. Chess, do you think it's early enough for a scam train? Apparently it is. Apparently it is. I'm just gonna bottom both. Alright. I want to find a 4-drop. Don't they have infinite power? They only have infinite power once they get a Conclave Mentor in play. Did not find a 4. I guess we're putting Terminus on top and hoping. Yeah, no. They have to when they remove a counter from Spike Feeder and then they get a counter, so they don't have infinite power. Yeah, they could Ballista X equals 3 to play around a 4-drop being on top. I know my paths would interrupt the combo, but I think that we didn't path into turn there. They can gain infinite life right now. Yeah, Spike Feeder Heliod is just infinite life, but if you get a Conclave Mentor, then it becomes infinite power. Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. X equals 1 does mean that they can kill us, but they're just not playing around Terminus here. And we'll just kill them with Jace eventually. Are they playing another another Arbor Elf? I feel like something we couldn't path in response to the first activation. We could have, but infinite life just doesn't matter. So, and at this point, I'm committed. Like, they would have had infinite life when I tapped out for Jace. But their infinite life just does nothing, really. But I'll just tell them that I'll treat them as if they have infinite life. Infinite life means I, will not kill them with angels. But my opponent, will gain some life. No kappa, opponent. I even hit him with a smiley face, so I don't know how my opponent mistrusts me here. I even have to click OK because I have a trigger on the stack. I guess I can yield to the Terminus trigger too. Okay. As soon as I yield to it, they let me cast it. Yeah. Gaining some life for Shock Lens and Canopy does make sense. It's gonna pass. They have 2 cards left in their hands, We don't have to be too aggressive here. Alright, let's just see what's on top. I don't think we're gonna lose to this Arbor Elf. Another Terminus on top. It's interesting. So they're not gonna play another creature into this. What is that Overgrown Tomb doing? Oh, right, we put the other Terminus on top, of course. I forgot. Are they about to Coco in response to my Terminus that they know about? I think I am gonna go ahead and just Terminus this elf. I'm still waking up. Only had 1 cup of coffee. But I finally had a pretty good night of sleep. It's been a while.
What's up? It's me, your friend Aspiring Spike.
A chest gifted a sub? Hell yeah. Is that a level 2 hype train or is a second level 1? Welcome Toastface. Welcome Toastface. Yeah, I have a newborn. I can't remember a good night of sleep. I have a stream, which is very similar. But good, best of luck to you and congratulations. Alright, so let's draw the Archmage's Charm, then Blind Flip, and then Force if we miss. The island on top. Opponent's got 1 card in hand. Or sorry, no cards in hand, just playing off the top. We need to make sure that we can counter a Ballista at any point, but as long as we can make sure we do that, this game is close to unlosable. Yes, the stream and a newborn babies are a lot alike. You just pour a lot of energy and your soul into them, and they just crap on you. Exactly. They should probably sack in response, see if they find Coco. I'm going to keep the charm to be able to counter a Ballista. Let's scry 2. There's a fun Raveler. Going to keep that. I think I'm bouncing Heliod, and then I can path the Giver. Do foil shark tokens have any value on the US market? I have no idea, but I may be in the market. I don't know. My shark, I now own one Shark Typhoon. It's in my EDH deck that I guess I haven't physically put it together. I still need to get basic islands. But I got the last spell yesterday. Prairie stream on top. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and sack the Omen in response to this. It's not a big deal if it resolves. But it is not resolving. I see Spike playing Miracles, I click. Hell yeah. Actually pull up my handy dandy sideboard guide. I might bring in Grafdigger's Cage, which I don't think I have myself bringing it in this matchup, but I'm gonna look and see how I wrote it. But just stopping their Coco sounds kind of nice, especially when Force of Negation is mainly in the matchup to stop Coco. Although they can have Choke and Veil of Summer, and also stops Eladamri's Call. Timu, thank you for the raid. Hope you're having a good day today, bud. But if you are interested in a sideboard guide for this deck, if you subscribe and link your Twitch account to Discord, you can get one. So this has me going -2 Condemn, -1 Force, +1 Hero, +2 Gust. I think I'm actually going to might go down to 1 Force and I'll play the Grafdigger's Cage. I think Force is mainly there to stop Coco anyways. So just having Cage be an answer makes some sense. We'll at least try it out. And I will change that in the sideboard guide. Going to play local champs tomorrow with Miracles. I don't think I'll face Urapile, so maybe I should swap Tails in for some more disputes and vetoes. Maybe, yeah, maybe. I will say that if you expect E-Tron, then you probably want to play Veto over Tails End, but if you expect Greentron, Tails End is like about as good as Veto, maybe even better. Just countering Eldrazi triggers is a big deal. Countering Expedition Map, Oblivion Stone, and almost all of their threats.
What's up? It's me, your friend Aspiring Spike.
Unexistent gifting another sub. What is happening today? This is awesome. To Fafin66, appreciate that. Welcome, Fafin. Where are the dinos? They went extinct. The dinos went extinct, sadly. I did everything I could to save them, but I couldn't rewrite history. I'm not as powerful as Narset and Sarkhan. This is game 2. We're up a game against what appears to be Abzan Heliod. I'm going to let the Sprawl resolve, although I don't hate forcing it. I think it's a bit better to let it resolve. Yeah, we won against Infinite Life. I told them they had Infinite Life, of course, and then they conceded, like, after it was clear they couldn't win. Huh. It's pretty good. I was not expecting an Aven Mind Sensor. I didn't have anything on the field, but I mean, I was going to win with a Jace eventually. Yeah, this Mind Sensor is great. Hopefully we just hit a Terminus, of course. Kind of surprised they left the Hex Drinker in. I guess it's okay. Harry, are you in the chat? Are you in the chat? Do you run as hot with miracles as I do? You probably do. I see that you've been playing it a lot. Gonna go ahead and remand this, I think. I'm gonna get a Hallowed Fountain. Should have played the clip. Yeah, I didn't have it up. Alright. Gonna jam Jace the Mind Sculptor here. I think I'm gonna get the ability to Miracle Terminus next turn. I think that seems decent against this deck. Yeah, I still don't have a soundboard. I still just have the downloaded, we cut the Lightning Helix, and that's all I have. I'm opening the audio file and clicking play every time. I'm glad you like that one, Toast. I think it's pretty good. So if they get a Ballista and they play a land, they can spend their entire turn killing Jace, which is fine. I need a clip from Miracle. Maybe we do. Sigarda, Host of Herons. Dude, I love Sigarda. I used to play with this card in Standard all the time, and it does nothing here. It does absolutely nothing. But, dude, I love Sigarda. 5 mana, 5/5, flying, hexproof. Spells and abilities your opponent's control can't cause you to sacrifice permanents. This card used to crush Jund in Standard. It was just the Lilionic Slayer. And now... how the mighty have fallen, I suppose. Yeah, do you believe in miracles? Maybe that would be good. I think I'm just holding up Cryptic this turn. Although getting Counterbalance down would be nice. I think we can wait. Put the Terminus back on top. Yeah, this game is very over. It's all ogre now. Alright, this is good because now they get to see how good my hand is and concede. Probably don't want to clip any songs necessarily since, the DMCA is coming for us and I can't go back to my IT job. Can't do it. Yeah, Mystic Sanctuary, you don't even need fetch lands. You can just draw them naturally. They take Force of Negation. Alright. So last card, Veil of Summer? Kind of seems like it is. It's not. Just get Esther to sing it. I think they might still claim us. I don't know. I'm not taking any chances. I don't think we need to Miracle this Entreat yet. Yeah, I wonder if it's just Thoughtseize or if they're splashing anything else. Is Jeskai Miracles better in terms... is Jeskai better than Miracles in terms of consistency? In terms of consistency, yes. But Miracles, I do think is potentially better at raw power. Miracles is a weird deck because it's a control deck that has a ton of variance. And I think that's a pretty, unique thing about it. That it's a control deck that's incredibly swingy, and you do have to kind of run hot with it to win a tournament. But, that is true for a lot of decks. If you just run hot, with some decks, it's hard to lose. Whereas control decks, most of the time, you're just trying to be very consistent and methodical and slow. But Miracles doesn't play that way. Miracles is a deck where you have to run a little hot. And when you do, it feels like you can't lose. And so I think that's a pretty unique aspect of it. When you compare it to other control decks. It's a good question. What is this? Have I decided how I'm going to mail chat our percentage of the prize winnings? Well, I thought I would just do like PayPal. I thought that would be way easier. I don't know if I'm going to stream it. I did stream the last one. I need to look at their rules for this time. I would love for you guys to be a part of it, of course, and I just don't want to commit to it yet because I remember last time, streaming like the whole weekend, like 20 plus hours on a delay. was it's kind of a drag, just being on a delay the whole time, not getting to talk to anybody, and also, you know, just like I'm on the delay and I can't, can't relax, can't just like sit and watch YouTube videos in between rounds and stuff. So I want to do it, but I'm just not gonna commit to it yet, I guess. I don't think I need to path this right now. Maybe I do. Got 2 paths. Let this resolve. I've been seeing TSP Jindrix blue blacklist. I don't know. I don't like his. I like the idea. I don't like the discard spells or 4 Narset. I think I would play no discard spells, and I'd play like 2 or 3 Narset in the main. The deck is not built around the Narset lock, and playing the full 4 is a bit weird to me. And I will also say Narset is very good against the Uro piles, and not that good against most other strategies in the format. Like, she's always going to be fine, but like Narset's a very good card. But Narset is also like not very like super well positioned in the format, besides against the Uro Omnath piles. And so I think that's something to acknowledge as well. Is Miracles a real deck now? Yeah, I think so. I play this deck all the time, and I think it's like Mystic Sanctuary specifically is what makes this deck competitive, in my opinion. And I'll just path this now. Put us down to just 2 cards. They mulled to 5. Good morning, Riot. Is Counterbalance and any other card? Yes. Counterbalance and any other card is Splinter Twin. Yeah, if Sanctuary gets banned, this deck doesn't exist. But just fetching in response to a Counterbalance trigger is so powerful. It's incredibly powerful. I've won a PTQ with this deck, and it's one of my favorite decks in the format. I've just been working on other stuff recently. I do think I'm going to stream tomorrow's Modern Challenge. I don't know exactly what I'm going to play. I got second last week with... I'm going to opt to see if we find the second Remand, I guess. I got second last week with... I'll keep it Island. Keep losing my train of thought. Second last week with the Bant Ephemerate deck. And that deck is really fun. I might just run it back. Interesting. Looks like more of a mid-rangey Scourge deck. Play this. I might play this. I do like this deck a lot. This deck is also like pretty mentally taxing to play in a long tournament, but I guess, so are most of the decks I play. All right. Pretty happy to discard Entreat, because we get Mystic Sanctuary back at some point. It's good for us. I don't know that I want to Omen yet. Usually Omen, like, digging for Terminus is kind of where you want to be. And if we Omen here and find Terminus, then we can't hold up Cryptic for Kroxa, which is something I think I'd want to do. So I'm going to wait. Okay, don't have double white yet for this Entreat, but if we draw a second white source, Entreat's going to win the game. It seems like our opponent is choosing to play Seasoned Pyromancer over Luris as a companion, which is pretty cool. Pyro is great. Pyro is really, really good. That's an excellent suggestion, Simon. I'll consider it. Yeah, I think the Miracles PTQ win was maybe my best stream ever. Just like, it certainly feels like the most memorable one. And I do, feel kind of bad that I didn't stream the Pioneer PTQ win, but I feel less bad because I did win it. I think I'm going to keep the Remand and bottom the Counterbalance. Kind of just want to get a little more ahead on board, potentially. Yeah, that was the tourney where Yama was already queued for the PT, and then we got parity against each other at round 1 of top 8, and then Yama scooped like an absolute legend. So we're going to take 6 here. Maybe I was supposed to path the Spyro. Guess I'll counter draw. I was thinking about maybe countering Bouncing Omen. We know we're drawing an opt, so we're not miracling Terminus either way. If they have a land, they get to escape Kroxa. They do have a land, and they get to escape Kroxa. So I think we're discarding Remands, pathing Kroxa, and then in my opponent's upkeep, if we don't miracle Terminus on our turn, we'll opt in our opponent's turn to find Terminus. If we miss, we'll probably just tap draw or tap bounce Omen. The Miracles PTQ was the very first stream I saw of mine. That's awesome. I remember I had like almost 1,000 people watching me, like, you know, discuss the prize split at the end there. It was an awesome stream. Is there any point to pathing Kroxa when we need to find Terminus anyways? You know what? That's a pretty good point. Although pathing Kroxa like we get to use this white mana now. But I think I agree. I think I agree because we're gonna tap their team next turn anyways. And then bounce Omen, which will dig us deeper. Guess we play around Lightning Skelemental here. I did end up getting new headphones. I got Samsung Bud Pluses or something like that. I think they're okay. They're way more comfortable than my other ones, which were just kind of like some crappy ones that Esther wasn't using anymore. I think we're choked on white mana, and I think like if we you know don't find Terminus, pathing Kroxa gives us, you know, outs here. I guess we're gonna go to 1 if we miss here. Would I do a sub EDH games on spell table? Probably not. I usually have, you know, it's usually pretty daunting meeting new people, I guess. Can get bad social anxiety. And then it's like, if we do sub games on EDH, I'm the common thread where everybody knows me, but I don't know anybody. Sounds like a nightmare. Alright. I was supposed to bottom the Jace. What am I doing? I mean, some games you just never find Terminus. I mean, if Terminus is the card underneath Jace, I'll be really happy I kept it. The sub-chess tournament. It sounds interesting. I keep meaning to get back into chess, and I keep not. I think my opponent has a burn spell. I think they definitely have a burn spell. I did click bottom. So, oh, can I not see? Okay. Wanted to see if the card underneath that was Terminus. Weird game. Okay, so Purge is good, Teferi is good. I do think my opponent's probably bringing in some amount of Boil. Probably want like 2 Gusts, the Timely. I think I want the first Force as well. Maybe just 4 1-mana removal spells. I could see playing only 3 Terminus too. It's not that common for them to commit, you know, a ton of threats. The 3rd Gust maybe. Can you ask about my favorite openings? I don't know. I haven't really like seriously played chess since I was in high school, and I really don't even remember very much. You know, I always played the game. You know, like Magic, chess came pretty intuitively to me, and I kind of, you know, relied on that kind of intuition to win games rather than actually seriously studying it. Like maybe I seriously study Magic. You know, I was kind of a, you know, just a kid back then, and I was pretty immature. And I remember I did go to tournaments and I was winning and I was doing really well. And then I actually started playing against good chess players, and I was losing a lot, and I didn't, instead of getting good, which I am sure I could have, I quit. But you know, when I was a little more mature by the time I got into Magic, and you know, maybe that experience is what, you know, made me, you know, seriously get into this game. Would I play Animatu and Modern Miracles? What is Animatu? Is that a real card? If I had to replace Force of Negation, what would I replace it with? Probably like one Spell Snare, two more Remands. Why not play Kihira? Don't overthink it. Just don't overthink it. You could definitely play Kihira if you wanted to. She's not that good. She is very, she has the very, very low impact. Very, very low impact. I played her, you know, a lot back when the companion rule was, you know, under the original ruling, and even then she was not that good, but it was nice to just have a win condition you could put into play for 3 mana when you're brainstorming with Jace. Yeah, but maybe after the PT, I'll like try to seriously study some chess. We have an island on top, which means we could cast Teferi if it doesn't get Thought Seized, but I imagine it's getting Thought Seized. How did the Dino League go? I think we went 2 and 3. Maybe we went 1 and 4. But honestly, the deck felt fine. I do feel like we had we ran bad, or like maybe our opponents ran hot is more accurate. Opponent kept a 1-lander. No, we won the we won the Merfolk match, right? Or did we lose? I can't remember. I thought we won. Why am I using the inferior? Because art is subjective, of course. Okay, Archmage's Charm on top is pretty good. Captain Obvious, 13 months in a row on that second lap. Thanks, buddy. Hope you're having a good day. Could just draw 2 right now. I kind of like this, and then if we draw a fetch land, we can Mystic Sanctuary either a 2 or a 3. Did not find fetch land though. Also, now this does make Terminus more of a castable card. Yeah, Divination versus the discards deck. Tale as old as time. Timely Reinforcements. Well, we'll get 3 tokens, but we won't get the life. Just gonna cast it. Play around a discard spell a bit. Thanks, Nick. What do I think about Hull Breacher and Legacy? I also don't know what that card is. There's so many new cards. It's so hard to keep up with these days. Alright, which hat would you like, Zajad? Shark. Alright. Where did I put the shark hat? We have an opt on top. It's interesting. I have no idea where the shark hat is. Hold on, Zajad, I'm looking. I don't ever take it out of this room. I've got this blanket here that I wear in the mornings. Oh, yeah, here it is. It was tangled in the blanket. Okay. Yeah, so what is Hull Breacher? Somebody tell me what Hull Breacher does. I got a haircut like 2 weeks ago, Manapot. It's been a while. Well, I guess they could have Boil here, and that's okay. Sometimes you lose to Boil, right? 4 mana win the game is pretty good. Why don't you use 1 or 2 Castle Vantress? It's so perfect for miracles. It is not an island, and you need to play as many islands as you can so Mystic Sanctuary is online as quickly as possible. But I would definitely play Slim if it were an island. Hull Breacher, okay. 3 mana, 3/2 flash. If opponent would draw a card except for the first one they draw on their draw steps, instead you create a treasure token. I don't know. It doesn't seem like that much better than Narset to me. It seems fine, but I think that any card that, you know, attacks cards like Brainstorm, like Ponder is kind of a good thing for Legacy, because Ponder and Brainstorm are so dominant. Like, Brainstorm is the best card in Legacy, so like when new cards are printed that are good against Brainstorm, I think that that's just kind of a good thing. This is Apostle's Blessing? Lightning Bolt targeting themselves. I am not going to reveal. This feels like they want to know what my top card is. And they can't play Shadow anyways. I mean, just that just resolves. They got 1 card left in their hand. Oh, they target the Scourge? I mean, it's the same thing either way. Like, they lose 3, they target themselves or the Scourge. Alright, Unearth. Our top card is Flooded Strand. So I'll just go ahead and draw this Flooded Strand, I think. And then we can Terminus at instant speed if we want to. Can also just counter a 1-drop. With the Shark Hat and the asymmetrical color blocking on your hoodie, you look like a medieval jester. Hell yeah. Aspiring jester. How has Condemn been playing for you? Some lists don't play it, and I wouldn't know why. Condemn's really good. It's like specifically good against Scourge of the Skyclaves. But it's like, you know, as long as Monastery Swiftspear is the best creature in Modern, and I think Swiftspear has been that for a long time now. I'm pretty interested in playing Condemn over Path. Like, Path on turns 1 and 2 is always bad, or almost always like really bad, and Condemn is just a card you're pretty happy to cast on turns 1 and 2, and so playing a split I think is good. I'm not still looking for earphones, men, but I do appreciate you looking out, of course. I think I'm just gonna plus. We can counter a 1, 2, or 3. Of course, this means we're very cold to a Boil, but we can just blind flip to counter a Boil. Esther has some AirPods. I think she says she likes my headphones better, and I kind of feel like kind of ambivalent about these and her AirPods. So I may trade with her, but we'll see. Oh, they have another spell. Spyro. Wow, that's awesome. It's really good. Into Channeler. So I'm going to bounce this with Teferi, I guess. Let me actually opt first. We can just hardcast Terminus if we find it. And so I think it's a bit better to see if we find a Terminus before we commit to bouncing. No more Mystic Sanctuaries in the deck, sadly. Still have 12 life. Opponent's deck seems so good at grinding. Didn't we recommend that she not get the AirPods? Yeah, you guys did, and then she got them and she likes them. But she likes them, but she likes mine better. I don't know. I think the AirPods are a little more comfortable, and that's really all I care about. Those my ear infections. Okay, Omen of the Sea was a really good hit. Yeah, they're on sale too. If there's anything the internet hates, it's AirPods and pre-built PCs. But like there are just times to buy both. I feel like this is a Kroxa. It's a Scourge. Right, let's see if we can find a 2-drop off of Omen. This works too. Only pre-built laptop. Dude, I hate working on laptops. That was when I was an IT guy, working on laptops was my least favorite thing. I have really shaky hands, and so just all the parts being so small, I always fuck something up. Took the path. So I guess they have another Scourge. Could be a Shadow. We haven't seen a Shadow yet. Okay, Unearth targeting Magmatic Channeler. It's fine. We have a Jace the Mind Sculptor on top, which is really just Jace win the game Sculptor. If I draw Teferi Time Raveler, it's possible I'm going to want to brainstorm Aether Gust to the top and then bounce the Channeler. So I'll go ahead and not gust the Channeler quite yet. Yeah, I'm going to leave the Gust in my hand now to not die to Boil. I would like to not die to Boil. We've seen a lot of their deck without seeing one yet, but they probably have like 2. We're going to game 3. Our opponent's at 6 minutes. I didn't even notice. I mean, I just am a fast player. There's a string on the hat. I'm afraid it's gonna unravel. Just tuck it back in here. Who would I recommend to watch for Historic? I watch mostly Nassif and Jim Davis. Doomwake has also been streaming some Historic content. I've been watching him. So that's mostly it. You know, I watch like whenever like Channel Fireball puts up videos on Historic, I've been watching lately. So like Martin Juza just put one out. I met Martin Juza at a PT once. We played against each other and we got deck teched, so we got to chat for a while, and he's a really, really cool guy. I also streamed Historic one time, so maybe I'm the premier Historic streamer now. The classic blue-white Miracles is up 11 minutes on the red-black Scourge deck. Oof. I was gonna say I didn't want to opt on turn 1 because of Terminus, and I think that's still the case. Also, like, shocking myself is a bit awkward because they're a Scourge deck, and I want to get white mana in play as soon as possible for more Termini, I think. Well, thank you, Sanal. That's nice of you to say. We're an hour into the stream and this is still match 2. I'm not the one playing slowly. This is fine. Kind of. I think I'm just going to Omen. I don't even feel like my opponent's been playing that slowly. They discard 2 lands. It's kind of a good sign for us. Bottom, and then draw Terminus. Weird. Didn't draw Terminus there. Yeah, the fact that they didn't get a token is pretty good for us, because now we can just condemn. Alright, I'll let this resolve. They might just take Jace. If I could condemn the Spyro in response, I probably would. 100% has Boil. Why would no early action? I think that's a good read. They keep 7. Oh, this is great for us. We get to discard Terminus. This is just, yeah, this is just good. Yeah. I'll just take 2. Guess I'll go ahead and keep looking for a fetch land here, or any land. Putting Teferi on the bottom feels so bad. Did we really not find a land? Wow. It's kind of unreal. We're so cold to boil if we just draw 2. But it's like if they just pass with mana up, we can't draw 2. If they had Boil, they would have taken Cryptic. Maybe. Has 3 ops and don't find on end of turn, don't find a land. Feels so bad. I did draw, I think I drew 1 spell off of it. Right? Yeah, I topped once. What do I think of the Jeskai Wildfire Cat deck? I think it looked pretty good. Land. Christopher Columbus searching for land. Force is actually a really good draw. That was not. I'm gonna timely here. We don't get to gain the life. I think I'll just like condemn the Scourge. What am I playing Zerta combo again? I don't know that I am. I played it like not that long ago and it didn't feel that good to me. I feel like it just needs something. Maybe Legion Angel is exactly what the deck needed. I do like Legion Angel plus Aether Vial plus Eladamri's Call. Scourge just a 3/3 right now, although it's not going to be that hard for them to make it a bit bigger. I don't think their last card is Boil, so I'm just going to not play around it. Maybe Famous Last Words. It's just not the read I have. Might as well block here because we're going to Terminus. Then we'll discard Entreat and Path. We're kind of happy to discard Entreat. Not as happy to discard Path. But then we get to Terminus with Cryptic up. Do I think the Coco decks just aren't good right now? I mean, the Helia Coco combo deck is good. I think that one's a good deck. Alright. I think it's better to bounce Omen in spots like this where you're like low on resources. Bummer. Pretty good. So we're at 7 and they have a Kroxa. We have the first top deck. That's a good one. I think we're supposed to brainstorm. So Condemn can play around another Skelemental. But looks like they're just escaping Kroxa. Then we discard Condemn and then we can gust the Kroxa. Opponent also has less than a minute on the clock, and I don't think they're going to be able to pull this off in time, but if somehow I feel like I'm 0% to win, which I can't really imagine happening, I will concede. A weird spot. I'm gonna gust after they draw, I think. I guess we die to Unearth if we... I guess we'll just gust in the beginning of combat step to just make it to where there's no way they can like sack Sunbaked Canyon into Unearth for Skelemental. 15 seconds. It's been a long time since I've seen an opponent timeout. Just doesn't happen all that often. All right, 2-0 on the day. We're an hour into the stream, got 2 matches done. I mean, it sounds good for playing against a creature deck. And just kind of loses if we're not, but... I've never liked mulliganing hands like this in the blind. Like, oh no, my control deck that has a ton of removal spells in it is going to be bad if they're not playing a creature deck. You know, and if you're really worried about that, you probably should just play a different deck. Hopefully this is Grixis Shadow. It is not. Oh, is this the Jindrik control list? If that's the case, like, we're pretty cold to, like, the million Narsets over there. Could still be just, like, Sultai that's playing River of Tears. Yeah, I don't think Narset... I don't think they play the Triumph either, but... They could play it just as, like... I mean, I guess they already have a cycling dual land, yeah. It could be Jindrik Sultai. Yeah, lap blankets are great. Athena loves blankets too. I think we just jam this Jace. Like, our hand is so bad. We need some things to go right here. And, you know, they've already used 1 mana leak. If we can get them to force, and they do force pitching Jace, I think that's okay for us. If they have a second Jace, you know, good for them. This is not canister control, or at least what I'm seeing. I think this is TSP Jindrik. I don't know if I'm saying their name exactly right, but TSP is another streamer, content creator, e-boy like me, and plays a lot of control decks, but you know, has a bit of a different style, but also does well in modern with them. And the blue-black canister control list was, you know, canister did well with it, but that was also TSP Jindrik's list. But I think that this is, you know, more of like a Sultai Uro deck, it seems. Alright, so I'm going to Mystic Sanctuary back this Archmage's Charm. Hope my opponent doesn't have Cling to Dust. And in response to the Sanctuary trigger, I'm going to Scry 2. I said I hope they don't have Cling to Dust. Guess I'll Scry 2 now. Cling is so bad here for us. Right, I'm gonna shock so that way I could pay for a mana leak and then still remand something. They can't escape Cling to Dust end of turn. I'm not going to remand it. Cling to Dust is not like flashback. They should target the Opt, I think. We have a Terminus on top, which is maybe the worst card to be on top, right? Yeah. Maybe a land, I don't know. I'll just put this over here with the rest of the fire. Reveal the Terminus, of course. Now, I imagine my opponent probably has like, 2 or 3 removal spells in their hand too. Thus is the nature of game 1 of Control Mirrors, of course. Yeah, this bog does not let me cast it. I know it says can be cast for miracle cost, but you can't actually do it just at any time. It's just a graphical bug, not a mechanical bug. Put that over here with the rest of the fire. Yeah, Drown is a... Yeah. Their win con is probably Uro and Field of the Dead, although we've seen only regular islands here, which kind of indicates no Field of the Dead. I don't know if... probably Regime, probably. Who needs your hand to be good? Why would you need your hand to be good when the top of your library can be good? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Imagine like needing there to be good cards in your hand when instead you could just have the good cards be on top of your library. I think Gust is usually better than... Maybe 1 Terminus to clean up Field of the Dead tokens is better than the 3rd Gust. Can kind of buy that. Maybe Grafdigger's Cage is better. Say no Uro, no Snapcaster. What is Torpor Orb for? Humans, Death and Taxes, Oops All Spells. Some Primeval Titan, it's okay against them. Goblins. There's one more, I think. Humans, Goblins, Death and Taxes, Oops All Spells. Titan. Oh, the Kiki Jiki deck. So yeah, I mean, yeah, Soul Hoarder variants. Like, there are some times it just randomly hoses decks like that. But of, like, the kind of top decks. Is it not good against Uro? Not really. It's good against... It's not. Like, they just get to have a 3-mana 6/6 that when it attacks, they draw a card and gain 3 life and put a land into play. A Torpor Orb, I think, just upgrades their Uro. I'm going to keep this. I think I'm putting back the Gust. Yeah, Goblins is when Jim Davis challenges me to a grudge match. Lost an earbud. Yeah, I'm also surprised Goblins just is not a deck right now, really. Maybe I should play it some, but I also like don't want Goblins to be a popular deck because it's pretty good against me usually. I think the biggest problem is Goblins like has a hard time figuring out how to beat the Swiftspear decks. But I really feel like if you dedicate like 8 to 10 cards for that matchup, something crazy like that, you probably just surely you can figure it out. Surely you can figure it out. Scavenging Ooze. Weird. I was not expecting an Ooze at all. Don't have a ton of answers to Ooze, honestly. That's true, that's true. It is like... That's actually a really good point, that it does kind of have the problem that decks with infinite combos like that have, where it's just annoying to click through the combo. Guess I'm just going to make them tap there. ooze, and then if we draw a Teferi off of the opt, oh, okay. Why not activate? I don't know. Weird. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how big a deal the ooze is. Seems like somewhat of a big deal, I guess. So I think if I cast this charm, they're going to counter it. So I'm just going to sack Omen. I guess we keep another charm. So we've got 2 gusts in the deck, or 3 gusts in the deck, or just two, because I cut a cage. Because I cut one for a cage. Then a Teferi and a Jace to bounce it. I'm gonna force this so it gets exiled and they can't Mystic Sanctuary it back. This is of course bad if they're like sitting on a Jace the Mind Sculptor, but like they're definitely representing the Sanctuary here. I think it's good to do so. Did I leave a Terminus in? Yeah, no, I didn't leave a Terminus in. We also just have Entreat in the deck. Maybe I should have prioritized getting a second white source into play for that. My opponent gonna... Oh. Snap Thoughtseize. Jeez. So many more creatures than I thought they would. We can Mystic Sanctuary back Charm if we want to. So we can tap draw if we want to. Might be a bit better to bounce the ooze end of turn than draw a card. Than charm to draw 2. Yeah, I know we need double white, but I think this is a bit better. We do go down to 4. And I guess this is not that likely to work. We'll reevaluate for game 3. I mean, they probably only have like 1 or 2 oozes anyways. We've got Aether Gust. I mean, the Snapcaster is like kind of a problem. If only we had Kihira. Dude, Kihira would have been good there. Yeah, I think we probably need to find room for a Terminus. I'm going to cut the 3rd Tail's End. Sounds good. What's the downside of Kihira? Having a sideboard slot taxed. Oh, I forgot about the yield to end of turn thing. That just doesn't work anymore. Yeah, and that is another downside, is that revealing Kihira, you know, if our opponent is savvy and smart, they will know that we're playing Miracles. Thanks, cool cat. Hope one day I could be as cool a cat as you. This hand is a hand that just is wanting to jam threats, because it's a hand of all threats. Yeah, the yield through end of turn is broken. It just doesn't work. There's a lot got broken from the last Magic Online update. I think I'm jamming Jace. They have a second mana leak, good for them. If they have to force, that's fine too. They're clean looking for force. They found it maybe, or maybe they already had it, wanted to find a different blue card, and they force pitching Dispel. You know, we haven't seen an Uro all game. It's kind of weird. Alright. I'm just going to pass. Thoughts on jamming Teferi there? Well, I mean, I did think about it. Would you rather have a Jason play than Teferi against Sultai? I mean, when my hand is as like loose as this, yeah, I think so. Oh, I was supposed to play land so I could pay for Mana Leak. Yeah, I kind of think they have Veil too, but we can just remand our own Teferi, is what I was thinking. Thoughts on the Modern metagame right now? I think it's in a pretty good spot. I've been liking Modern a lot for a while now. Yeah, if they have Veil, this doesn't beat the Remand. They've already used a Mana Leak. They could have a Dispel. They've already... I mean, how many Dispels can they possibly be playing? They've already, pitched one. Opponent says, whoops. Man, that... Literally Cryptic Command. Literally Cryptic Command. They target their Charm, put that on top. And if they feel to ruin me in my Upkeep or Draw step, I'm going to Tails End. Kind of surprised that they didn't. Guess we'll see. We'll find out what that means. Remand my Teferi again? They targeted the wrong thing with Cryptic? No, they just Veil Summer thinking I was remanding targeting their Cryptic. But I remanded targeting Teferi. Yeah, as long as Uro and Veil of Summer are popular and good and modern, I'm going to be playing Remand over Mana Leak. So if my opponent goes for Charm after this resolves, I'll probably Omen and then Remand the Charm. Maybe get lucky and find Cryptic and get to Cryptic the Charm. Everything I say comes true. I hate you, Veil of Summer, but at least I get to draw a card. Yeah, Limited's good. I'm glad that I got to had the foresight to minus my Teferi, of course. Because we could still draw out of this. Hard to beat the third Veil of Summer, you know? They put Archmage Charm into their hands. We need Entreat the Angels off the top, baby. Bit of an awkward hand, but we keep. Right? Have a good time. Have a good time, Coden. Is it bad to have Supreme Verdict to just Sky flag fires? I think so. I've talked about this all the time, and I'm happy to keep talking about it. But I think if you have the Madcap plan, it is not good to play Supreme Verdict. If you want to play Supreme Verdict, the problem is you cut the platinum package, and then all of a sudden you have like three. Let's say you go crazy, you have 3 Supreme Verdicts in the sideboard, but then you still just have 6 copies of Remand / I think I'm gonna play the Counterbalance. Remand / Force of Negation that are going to be dead against decks like Humans, Aether Vial decks. And so when you cut the Platinum package, you need to play Sweepers and Graveyard Hate, and then they're just like, you're going to have dead cards and matchups. But if you play the Platinum package, you don't really. What's the Madcap plan for? I mean, it's very, very good against some decks, and then just gives you enough sideboard cards against decks like Humans. Is control your style of deck, or do you like other play style more? I really just like decks that let me make a lot of decisions. And control decks tend to let me do that. So I probably want to try to Remand this turn and then go to Teferi plus Path next turn. Could also maybe steal champion. Why not splash for the Madcap package in Miracles? Well, I mean, Miracles is already playing Terminus, so it's like less needed, but it honestly would probably be great. It would probably be great and not that high a cost. There's a Mystic Sanctuary on top, which is of course always free to add to your deck with no deck building restrictions. So nice that they don't have a cavern. Right. Sending it back. I have my eyes on this Champion of the Parish. I'm probably going to steal it next turn. Hey Marwin, how are you doing today? Yeah, my favorite archetype is Tempo. Yeah, I do think this deck has a pretty high learning curve. Not that I also, you know, at the same time, of course, always encourage you if you feel like you're not prepared to play a deck, I would encourage you to play it anyways. And losing and learning is, in my opinion, the best way to get better at Magic. And so I would encourage you to not be intimidated by not knowing what's going on. I think we opt here. It's obviously bad if we hit Terminus, but good if we hit a card like Condemn. So let's see what our top card is. If we Jace, it's a bit awkward because we can't Prairie stream. Okay, so but now we hit a land, so this is perfect. So what we can do is Jace and put a 3-drop on top to counter their General Kudrow. They already know about the Archmage's Charm, so I guess they know about the Teferi too. But we get to counter the Kudrow, hopefully, and then cast Condemn. Thalia would be bad, but what are you going to do? Have an answer to everything? Not me. I guess they might not play the General since they know we know about it. Yeah, they go for Lieutenant instead. Yeah, I keep forgetting to plus Jace. Then that way I can see what they're gonna, what the top card of my library is for Counterbalance. Alright, I really hope that they copy Thalia's Lieutenant. I mean, copying Kites of Freebooter only plays around Condemn. Oh, come on. So frustrating. This is kind of fine. We know they still have a General Kudrow. Yeah, if they copy the Lord, we get to Condemn. But they just didn't kill Jace. We'll teach them. Yeah, they just didn't kill Jace. I don't know. And they're overcommitting. Yeah, why would you cast? Yeah, for those of you who maybe are wondering what our opponent's doing wrong is, they have super lethal in play. They have 3 lethal attackers. They should not be playing any more creatures against a deck with, even just even if they don't know how Terminus works in spots like this, just they know we have Cryptic to tap their team and maybe we draw a different sweeper. I mean, even with the Kessig Malcontents, I think this is bad. Terminus is so busted. So busted. Opponent plays around there being a 3 on top. I'll just Cryptic this. Yeah, I guess the game's over. We know they still have a General Kudrow, so I think I'll be leaving a 3 on top. If I find a different 3 besides, yeah, I'll put the, I'll cast Teferi, and if I don't, I'll just have the Teferi be the 3 on top so I can leave up Charm. We'll see if they concede to this. I've got a feeling they might. People hate getting counterbalanced. Opponent's continuing to play. Opponent is a true warrior. Go ahead and just draw 2. And then we have a chance to blind flip. So unlucky to miss. We're at 2 life, I guess, but can also never lose this game under any circumstance. So we've got that going for us. Can't crack another fetch land anyways, so pretty easy discard. They can't without, you know, an active Heliod. I don't think our opponent can win this game. Yeah, there you go. Got the Torpor Orbs. I do usually like, you know, you're going to have some bad cards in the matchup, and these bad cards are like Purge, Dispute. Dispute's actually kind of good, I found. It's like, even if they have Cavern, it gets Phantasmal Image, and they've got a lot of blue creatures. Even saw Unsettled Mariner in that game. I think I'm going to play 1 Remand, 1 Gust. Neither are good. Oh, I want to play the hero. Yeah, I mean, Purge has targets, like a Freebooter. If Purge is better than Gust, Purge hits Freebooter, Kudrow, Mantis Rider, Gust hits Noble Hierarch and Mantis Rider, and Dispute's got, you know, some targets too. You're looking at the Invocation, Counterbalances, and Cryptics. To each their own. I'm not a big fan of those, but that's kind of the cool thing about art is how subjective it is.
Hey, Athena, say hi.
Hello, Athena. Hello, Esther.
Hello. Athena was on the balcony.
Any thoughts to Temporal Mastery? I mean, if Temporal Mastery didn't exile itself, I'd be pretty into it, but I'm not that into it.
Athena was on the balcony, and I went to the bathroom, and I heard her whine.
Did I put her on the balcony, or you put her out there?
Did. And then when I came out of the bathroom, she's on the couch.
She's on the couch.
Yeah, she said, Athena, you could open the door all this time. See, you don't need her help.
Yeah, she knows how to. She just knows how to open doors now.
She just doesn't want to.
Yeah.
She's not as good as Sasha is. Sasha just rams into the door and opens it.
We take these. How many MTG bugs today? Actually, none. I think they did a good job patching it up. You know, credit where credit's due. Yesterday was a disaster, but today is, you know, we're recovering.
Are you not playing Arena yet?
I'm not streaming Arena.
Oh, you don't?
I might like maybe I'll stream like the last 2 days before the PT or something, but.
Oh, you only streamed it on Wednesday because of maintenance?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I told you this yesterday. Goes in one ear and out the other. No, it just doesn't go in the ear in the first place.
Hey! That's me.
They named Path, but we can Mystic Sanctuary back Terminus, which is pretty good. In fact, I don't even want to bounce this Meddling Mage. Because if we bounce the Meddling Mage, then they might name Terminus. I'm going to bounce the Hierarch. The PT is December 4th. I haven't played any Standard, although I've been watching a decent bit of it. I'm probably gonna try to get like comfortable in Historic before I start Standard, without trying to zigzag too much between the two. But oh no, Cujo's so good here. Guess we'll just draw another one. Are they going to add Modern to Arena or just keep coming up with MTGO bugs? I don't know. I don't work for them. Wish I could tell you. Anybody who tells you anything besides I don't know is lying to you or making shit up. Is the PT equal? The PT is Historic and Standard. It's both formats, so gotta learn both. And not only do I have to learn both, I have to figure out I've got to solve both. I really feel like if I had like 3 more days of testing with the blue-white deck the last PT, I would have solved the Team or Wreck matchup. Guess I'm countering this. Doesn't feel very good. Yeah, that's definitely part of the Parsis Paras. Everyone who started playing Magic did a lot of losing with their Magic deck, Yeah, like I'm sure that Wizards wants Arena to have every format, but it's just like, in fact, it even feels like it would be faster for them to build a completely new client than it would be to upgrade Arena slowly.
I think I might have burned my hand.
You might have burned your hand?
Well, I poured tea.
Can I see it?
I think it's okay. Ow. No, it's stinging.
Where is the burn?
Well, it poured all over my hand. I poured tea and I took it to the living room and I kind of tripped and it like poured over my hand.
It looks fine. I don't know what to do. Call Ray. Call Ray.
I'm just mad you didn't hear my cry.
I got headphones in. You're mad? You're mad?
I expect you to come running out and say, "Are you okay?"
I do usually come running out whenever Esther yells, and she yells all the time.
Yeah, it hurts.
I'm sorry, sweetheart. You'll be okay. Alright, no Thales Lieutenant, please. I guess we're also dead to Mantis Rider. Well, no, bouncing him. Maybe that's better. Maybe that's better. Alright. I mean, this is better because now we just get to win the game. We'll see if they... Well, are they going to kill Jace? Okay, they killed Jace this time. Well, we just have a friend who's a nurse, and so whenever anything goes wrong, we just bother Ray. Which is actually not true. It's kind of a meme because Ray always says, she doesn't live in our state anymore, but back when she did, and she'd always be like, I'm happy to dial 911 for you. Is what she'd always say, and I always thought that was hilarious.
Do you see how it's more red than this hand?
Chat says pour cold water over it.
Cold water?
Yeah.
I don't know if that will help. I think chat is wrong.
Yeah, chat's not usually... I mean, as soon as anyone gets hurt, chat is, everyone's a doctor, But Spike, I really am a doctor. Okay. Oh yeah, you're right. Triple Ancient Ziggurat, Aether Vial. Good catch. Yeah, Dr. Mantis Toboggan. Dr. Leo Spichimin. We needed those two legends to handle the coronavirus.
Who's the toboggan one?
That's I can't remember exactly the context, but it's an always sunny thing.
Oh. Really?
Yeah, it's Frank, but I just can't remember like
Oh.
when he's Mantis Toboggan.
Hmm.
If you want, you can maybe burn your other hand to kind of even it out.
No.
That's what I would do.
How about I just cry? I might
Cry onto the burn.
Yeah.
Cry directly onto the burn. It's good. Oh yeah, Dr. Mantis Toboggan. This is my my monster condom for my Magnum Dong. Absolute legend. Well, I guess I don't really want to shock and just die to Kessig Malcontents. That line was flub. No, he says monster condom for Magnum Dong. He says it, and everybody flips it because it's how it's supposed to be, but that's how he says it, right? I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty deep into the Always Sunny lore. He says both. Okay, that's probably true. No, not by Omen of the Sea. Why not hardcast and treat for X? Well, to hardcast and I talked about it. But to hardcast and treat X equals 2, I would need to fetch and shock and go down to 1. And so I said, let's just not die to Kessig Malcontents. So that's why I didn't do it. Yeah, 104.3 aim. In the pharmacy, it's the Magnum Condom, and then when he meets them in the circus. Okay, got it. Everyone in chat is a doctor and an It's Always Sunny lore expert. A very well cultivated chat. Yeah, you're good, Maverick. You're good. But if your sound's off, yeah, you just got to be ready for an answer, you know. Why not entreat for 0 then Sanctuary back? That was maybe a better line. I mean, to do it last turn, we'd have to... I mean, I think it's probably better to entreat for 2 and then Sanctuary back. That's kind of a cool line. Yeah, but entreat is triple white, so like to cast entreat at all last turn, we needed to fetch and shock. If you put the Miracle ability for Terminus on the stack, and opponent vials his Meddling Mage naming Terminus in response, you cannot cast the Terminus when Miracle ability resolves correct. That is correct. The Miracle's trigger is just a trigger. It's not on the stack yet. And so to cast a spell, you have to put it on the stack. And that's something that you'd see in Legacy pretty often. Yeah, you can also Vendilion click it out of their hand, or maybe Thought Not Seer in some spots. That's Entreat the Angels. Oh my god, I can't believe it. How much do we want to entreat for? Like 3? Probably. Maybe 4. Why? Funny you should ask Ecstasy. Yes, you can also Tails in the trigger. You can also just play Teferi Fun Raveler. And just like everything else that's interesting and fun. Ooh. Yeah, I was getting 6 life. Like everything else that's interesting and fun, Teferi stops. In before Deputy of Detention, which we actually can beat because we can just path it. In before Mariner into Thalia into Deputy of Detention. That would win? Don't know about this one. Don't know about this one. Deputy into Deputy into Phantasmal Image works. Yeah, good point. Oh, does anybody play Deputy when Skyclave Apparition is legal? Probably not. Oh yeah, we could. I mean, well, Path stops Deputy anyways because Deputy is not templated like Skyclave or Fiend Hunter. My opponent's just dead on board. Island recall, Lotus recall, quad, sudden shock. That would work, yeah. Should have played around it, maybe. I mean, even if this is a Mantis Rider, it's just like... Hey, this doesn't target tokens. Concede, please. Oh, put us in GG. Missed it. That's cool, Garwell. Yeah, I need to play mat like this part of the wall too. I think that would look way better. Might do that this weekend. No, most of the I have not experienced a bug so far today. There was a lot yesterday, but you know, credit where credit's due. They did a good job fixing them for today. Yeah, I saw Hades got nominated for Game of the Year. Very exciting. I hope that it wins. I don't know if I played any of the other games on the list. I didn't play very many games besides Hades, so it's definitely my Game of the Year. Do I just pin up the mats? I pinned up everyone besides the Black Lotus one, which I use glue dots for. But the Lotus one is signed by Chris Rush. It was a gift to me. That one takes some special care. Scales is a good matchup, I think. It's not like a crazy good one. I think I even lost to it last time I played against it. It's good to force the Ozolith there because there is a bug with Terminus in the Ozolith where if you Terminus a creature, the Ozolith doesn't get counters, and so if you force the Ozolith, you don't have to play with the bug. And then in spots like this, it's good to have a 2-drop on top of your library to counter Throne of Gath with Counterbalance. Because Throne of Gath costs 2 CMC, and if Counterbalance, if you reveal a 2-drop, you get to counter Throne of Gath. I agree that Charm is a big part of the good matchup. Got a Terminus on top. We'll take it. Am I adept in budget modern? Do I think Hardened Scales is the best deck on 150-ish ticket budget? I am not, I guess. I don't really think too much about budgets because I've got this really nice rental service, and I would recommend, you know, maybe just renting cards rather than trying to find a budget deck if you're playing on Magic Online. What? Good. Does it need kisses? Oh, I shuffled away the Terminus. I think that's fine. Bottom both. You too. House is maybe better. There's a writer over at TCG Player. Let me make sure I say your last name right. Partlow, who I really like for budget Magic stuff. She does a lot of writing over at TCG Player. I'll put her at. Should be right. Twitter.com. That goes to the right spot. Yeah, Emma's real good. I think she writes a lot of articles about budget Magic, and if you're interested in budget Magic, I think she's a good person to follow and check out. So I'm gonna bottom this opt or this island, and then I'm going to remand the Ravager. Drew land anyways. Other land, yikes. And look at this. The 4th Mystic Sanctuary is on top. Jeez, what are the odds? It's crazy. I guess we have to upkeep Scry with Omen. What are the non-Uro control decks to go, in your opinion, for a person who doesn't worry about ban list? If you're not worried about ban list, I mean, every control deck that plays Mystic Sanctuary should, maybe be a bit worried, because I don't necessarily predict that card will be legal forever, and I also don't necessarily predict that it's gonna be banned. Oh, come on. What a swingy game. Man, Miracles is always so swingy. People make a lot of mistakes into Counterbalance, though. The Scales matchup is worse when you draw, only lands. Yeah, I think red is a splash for Boil, which is not good for us. You had. Fair enough. Top card is a Path to Exile. Interesting. Path is not terrible here. Draw it. Take the 2 infect, the 2 damage, just draw the Path. And then on our turn, we can just main phase Path Ravager and then Sanctuary it back and then have the ability to opt into it for the Nexus. There are some Uro control decks, but I agree that the Omnath variants are more so mid-range decks. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and draw my Path. That way we have a chance to counter this Ravager. There's a Terminus on top. Okay, it's pretty good. The only issue I run into with Emma is that she writes the word color as color. Those crazy British, yeah. Color. I take back my endorsement.
Baby, you put the chips on the floor.
I didn't put them on the floor.
They fell on the floor. What if Athena got into them?
Well, if Athena was getting into the chips, I would say Athena get out of those chips.
She probably already did get into the chips.
Maybe.
Filling up too.
Alright, we can keep doing this. Got Terminus on top. Kind of a delicate dance we're doing. I think our top decks are definitely on better average than theirs, but if we just flood out a bit more, it's going to be tough. Scales isn't doing too much. We have another Path on top, which is definitely a hit. And of course, great to counter the Scales if we get to do it for free. What is the counterbalance count? It's either 2 or 3 right now. I think we got the Throne of Gath. We got a Worker and a Hardened Scales, so... count 3. They know we have this Path, so they're not very likely to commit the Nexus into it. What are you doing?
I don't hear a...
I have it paused because you're in here and you always you talk to me while I'm listening to music.
No,
so
I don't hear a thank you, sweetie.
Oh, you're right. We could get back Remand.
Whatever. I don't like you today. Bye.
I don't know. Maybe that wasn't a good joke.
I left my tea in here. so mad.
What are you mad about?
Cause I don't know.
Thank you, sweetie. Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
sweetie. Not opt, given they don't do anything after Path was revealed. Remand is more likely to be able to counter a spell because they play a lot of 2-drops. And then Remanded with Counterbalance is kind of nice, where if you miss on Counterbalance, you remand the spell and you get another chance. But maybe opt is better. I have a rental service. I don't have any control over which arts I get. I'm honestly not really partial to anyone in particular. Know both paths. Oh, I see. That's what you mean by the art. Yeah, they know both paths because we revealed the other one to counterbalance. We are definitely not in garbage time. Less of a who. Fountain. Maybe we're supposed to keep it in hand because of Jace. Really bad because they can start putting effect counters on me. It's on a 6-turn clock. This is the module, of course. Real weird. It's a good draw. Real weird. I mean, I guess there's not a huge cost to playing it. They don't... Do they not know? Don't know about the infect thing. Maybe they just value getting some servos more. Maybe this is better. Alright, see if we blind flip. There's an Entreat the Angels on top, so... Counter draw. Howdy, Michael. In game. Still in game 1. Been such a long league. Was good. It's just like not that high cost to get some pressure into play. Step. Big draw. Brian. Ain, Otan, Tene. Sideboard in this matchup. I don't think Tailsin is very good against them. There's like a lot of little things it hits, but nothing is like a very good exchange. If that makes sense. Kind of maybe in for like 2 gusts. The red is for boil, right? That's what the red is for. A forced dancer boil. Because, like, you just... They end of turn boil you, gust, and then tap and boil you again. And, you know, you can spend 3 mana to gust if they boil on your end step, but of course, a lot of times, you know, they will tap you out, and then they'll untap and main phase boil, and then having force is really nice in those spots, too. No, I think Timely is kind of bad against them. Kind of thinking about a hero. I think hero's okay. I'm gonna trim 1 counterbalance for a hero. Yeah, where are my solemnities? Yeah, I bet Condemn is bugged too. We'll try to keep the integrity of the game as much as we can, but I'm also not going to change my plays to play around the bug that exists. But if you put a creature on the bottom of the library with the Ozolith doesn't get the counters, but it's supposed to. The bottom Jace, I guess. I would love to steal this Hangerback Walker with Archmage's Charm. But I don't think we have the luxury to do that right now. The attack with just Walking Ballista steal. Maybe we've played too much into Veil of Summer. I was just worried about them playing an untapped land and then boiling. Dude, Kazul's Fury is so cool. I totally forgot about this card, but that card seems great in their deck. That card seems really, really good. No Veil. No Veil. No Veil. If you move your Archmage Charm around, they can't cast Veil. Yeah, this card seems great. Put 2 counters on the Walking Ballista. Wow, what? That's awesome. And then they get 2 counters, 2 Thopters, and they get the Ozolith. That was really good. That was really good. Inscription of Abundance. Wow. I guess it's not that good because we can't also play the Teferi. But it's pretty good. I mean, we could just die to boil here. Can we brew opponent's deck later? Maybe. Probably not. I mean, I think people have... I've seen this list running around for a while. I don't know that I would be the person to like add very much to it. Cryptic plus Condemn. Or it's you click your cursor. Although it wasn't working yesterday, I think. But not very much was. Alright. My opponent doesn't have a boil in their hand. I know they don't have a boil. Been looking at the wrong timeline. Ah, come on. Wrong timeline, baby. Win the game at instant speed is pretty good. Know exactly what's gonna happen. No, I said the opposite. I said they didn't have boil. I was looking into the wrong timeline. But usually I look into the correct one. The real answer is I just play an insane amount of Modern and I can kind of just get a feel for what is happening. Oh man, maybe I really can see the timelines. It's all becoming so clear to me. Mystic Sanctuary on top. I guess I'm gonna steal that instead of countering it. I really like the pathways. I think not every, deck wants to play them, of course, but it's just so cool when you find a deck that does. Looking for a 4-drop, and if we find Terminus, we can just put that second from the top. Opt on top. But they have both the Fling Land and Boil. It's for both. It's pretty cool. I like it. They might still. Their last card could be Boil. Their last card could be Boil. In fact, but I don't think we're actually dead to it. If their turn is just Boil, but we untap with Counterbalance and Jace, I don't even think it's that bad. But I am gonna look for a 4-drop to put on top. We didn't. Oh, we did find a 4-drop. Okay. Opt so we can put a 2 on top, which is like the second most important number. This game. And module Jace, that's awesome. Okay, so my opponent gets to shuffle away the top of my library, which we know is a 2 right now. Can you explain how this list wins with Door to Nothingness? You're talking about the one we played yesterday? Because that one wins with Cascading Cataracts or Chromatic Ori. And it only won with Door to Nothingness yesterday. So opponent might think shuffling the top of my library is good, but they'd be wrong because I'll just blind flip a 2 again. Oh, how do we win with Door in this deck? It's a little complicated. Opponent has to reduce the Door to Nothingness's CMC to 1. And then we have to steal it with Charm. And then we have to steal... What's this 1-mana artifact that makes colored mana? That's still legal. I don't know. It honestly seems pretty hard to do. Steal 10 Chromatic Spheres. We actually only need to steal 6 Chromatic Spheres. Three and 2 with the Door to Nothingness Tron, with the stipulation of only ever winning it with Door. Would I do a ham sandwich stipulation? If you could define that in any way, I'd consider it. Yeah, we can +3 Jace, dude. Jeez. Let me, before my opponent concedes. So we 4-1 that league. Pretty good league. Lost to the Sultai control deck. Wish list updated. You haven't acquired at least one item from my wish list. I don't know what that is.